Hey guys, so today you guys are going to do your assessment over this entire chapter on surface area and volume. So I'm going to give you a bit of a demo on how to do that. So what you're essentially going to do is you're going to pick 3 objects around your house, and they need to be 3 objects different than what you had on your quiz. They need to be either a prism, a cylinder, a pyramid, or a cone. And you have to pick 3 different types of shapes. So for example, if you pick a soup can, which is the cylinder, you cannot pick a toilet paper roll because that's also a cylinder. You need to pick 3 different objects. So maybe you do a cone, a cylinder, and a pyramid, or you do a prism, a cone, and a pyramid. They just all 3 need to be different types of those 4 shapes. So once you pick your shape, I picked a puzzle box. You're going to define what it is. You're going to say this is a cone because X, Y, or Z. This is a pyramid because, and explain why. Next, you're going to show me your skills on how you can measure. So whether that is a tape measure or a ruler or however you've been measuring, you're going to show me how you measure that object and find all the necessary lengths. We need different objects. We did need different lengths for a pyramid than we do for a prism. Next, you're going to apply the formulas for lateral area, surface area, and volume. So you're going to show me how you would find the lateral area, surface area, and volume of each of your objects. And then you're going to show me some math skill that you worked on. So there are 5 different ones. Check out the rubric. The one I'm going to show you today is organization of ideas. There's presentation skills, thinking outside of the box, another skill that you've worked on in this video. So I'm going to go through a demo. Afterwards, I will show you some objects that don't work. So some objects that you shouldn't pick for your final assessment here. So let's get started. So here I have picked a prism. This puzzle box is a prism because it has rectangular lateral faces, and then the top and bottom bases have an altitude, meaning I have some sort of height. They're parallel to each other and they are congruent. So the first thing I need to do is measure all of my different sides here. So I'm going to take my tape measure, and my length, I'm going to measure across, is 8 inches. So I have 8 inches. Then my width is 6.75 inches, and you can pick if you want to do inches or centimeters. And then my height is 3 inches. So I have all of my measurements. So now I'm going to start with finding the lateral area. And the lateral area is the surface area that is just around. It does not count your bases. So in this case, since it's a prism, I can pick what my bases are, and I'm going to use the top and bottom of the box as the bases, and my lateral will be these 4 sides. So my equation for the lateral area of a prism is the perimeter times the height. So the perimeter I found by doing 8 plus 6.75 plus 8 plus 6.75. So I added up the perimeter of that base, and that gave me 29.5 inches squared. So now I need to multiply that by the height because it's perimeter times height. So I do 29.5, and then I'm going to multiply that by my height of 3. And so when I do that, that will give me my surface area. My lateral area. So now that I have my lateral area, which is 29.5, I need to then add in my bases. So to find the area of this top here, I need to do 6.75 times 8 times 2. So that's the reason I'm multiplying it by 2 is because if I find the area of this top, it's the same as the area of the bottom. So this is 8. This is 6.75. I multiply them together to get the surface area of just the top, and then I multiply it by 2 because they are the same. So when I add the lateral area and the bases area, I get 137.5 inches squared. Okay, so that is how I find my lateral area and my surface area, and they are in square inches because we use squared units for surface area. The last thing I need to do is find the volume of this rectangular prism. So for the rectangular prism, the volume formula is length times width times height. So I need to multiply the length times the width times the height here, which means I'm going to multiply 8 inches times 6.75 inches times the height, which is 3 inches. So when I multiply all three of those measurements together, I get 168 inches cubed. So my total volume is in cube units, and so I get 162 inches cubed for my volume. So the skill that I use today, my skill, whether it's outside the box, organization, the skill that I used was organization of ideas. And I did that by writing down all of my talking points and all of my formulas prior to my video. So that's all. That's what I'm looking for each object. So again, the name of the object, measuring it. You're welcome to write as you go. So your skill might not be writing and organizing beforehand. You can measure it and calculate, have your calculator ready, do it all live. That's great too. You don't have to go as fast as I did there. So you need to do that 3 times. So maybe you use the cone you made yesterday. Maybe you use a can of soup, whatever that may be. 3 different objects, all this different. I want to clarify a couple shapes that don't work, okay? So one shape that wouldn't work that I've seen a couple people try to use is something like a flower pot, okay? So this looks kind of like a cylinder, yes. I'll put it with a different background here. But see, this is angled. A cylinder has to have a consistent height, and it can't be sloped like this. So, and the circles are different, right? This circle on top is much larger than the circle on bottom. So this would not work for a cylinder. Another cylinder that would not work is something like this water bottle here. Okay, it's actually curved. It doesn't have a consistent circle. The top is different than the bottom. Again, for a cylinder, the top and bottom need to be the same. A couple objects that don't work for cones are any cones that don't come to a point. So, some people showed something like this and said it's a cone and said it just doesn't come to a point. It has to come to a point. And remember, we know how to make a cone after yesterday. Something like a remote here. Okay, this looks kind of like a rectangular prism, similar, but if you can see, it's kind of sloped. It's not consistent. It's not actually a box shape. So we would not want to use the remote there. And this object here, while it is very cool, it's not one of our 4 shapes. Because it doesn't have consistency for it to be a prism, a cylinder, a pyramid, or a cone. As much as I really like this, it's not one of those shapes. So just be aware with picking your objects. For example, a football is not a cone. It doesn't have a point. We'd have to cut it in half. That is one that wouldn't work. So if you're unsure about something, feel free to reach out. So what I just did, you're going to do 3 times. Make sure you read all of the details on the rubric. This is your test for this unit. So read through all of the details there, and you can submit it via the Dropbox, which is located on Canvas. If you have any questions, any problems, always be proactive. Reach out to me prior than 20 minutes before the deadline, right? So if you have any questions, let me know, but enjoy this, have fun with it, as this is your test for the unit. A little more creative than a Math Excel test. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and I'll talk to you later.